I wonder if we're live. Oh wait, this is a pre-recorded video, so I guess we're not live. And I guess we're not in Japan. It's been a while since my last video. A lot of things has changed and happened in the last month or so. I will make a dedicated video where I talk a little bit more in depth about those things, but the short version is that me and my family moved to Sweden a month ago, pretty much. 1st of July we arrived here, and we ended up in this little town of Strängnäs, where I've actually posted a couple of videos from this place before. It's a small town, about 30,000 people in total, but in this that's spread across a handful of different kind of settlements. This is the biggest one. This is Strängnäs itself. Here's the train station. Here's the train tracks down here. This place, I think about 20,000 people live here. So it's a pretty big difference from Tokyo. There are, I think, 2 trains here every hour, one in each direction. If you go this way, you will get to Stockholm, the capital of Sweden, in 45 minutes. If you go this way, you will get to Eskilstuna, which is like the nearest biggish city with about 100,000 people. That's 15 minutes away. That's also where my mom lives. So yeah, I will make a more in-depth video about the entire move and everything. But in this video, I will just take you on give you the brief version as I take you on a little walk around the town, which is now my new home. I posted, I think, 3 videos from this place before over the years. We tend to at least visit here every time we're in Sweden, because it's such a nice city and it's so close from the capital, and it's just, you know, this idyllic, peaceful little piece of how should I say, like, it makes me feel that I go back in time a little bit, back to the Sweden that I grew up in. Sweden has changed a lot, for better and for worse. Unfortunately, I think mostly for the worse. But yeah, coming here makes me feel a little bit like I travel back in time into this idyllic, safe, quiet, peaceful Sweden that I grew up in the 80s. So yeah, the short version, we are planning to live here for a year, maybe more, maybe less. But the main reason is that we want my daughter to learn Swedish properly. And also because me and my wife, those of you who have followed my channel for a long time knows that we have been kind of going back and forth about should we move to Sweden, should we not. And a couple of months ago we just felt that right now all the stars are aligned and now is a good time to do it. Let's try and see how we like it. So yeah, the plan is to stay here for a year, or basically until maybe the end of next summer. But we'll see. Let's pass through the station. Quite a big difference from Shinjuku and Shibuya. It's very quiet here. Like I said, 2 trains an hour. On the weekends, I think it's 1 train in each direction every second hour. There's a tiny little conveni here selling expensive coffee. I think it's like 4 times more than at a Japanese conveni, and not that tasty. But the stuff is very nice, and they have lots of other good things that they sell there. But I do miss the Japanese conveni coffee for sure. Here's the little bus terminal. There are like 3 bus lines in this town that serve the town itself. Then there's another handful of lines that goes to like the neighboring towns and communities as well. I'm trying to think what's the best route. As always, I haven't really planned this walk much. If we go down this way, we will get to the city center the quickest, but I think actually this might be a nicer walk. I won't be talking too much in this video, I think, but I do want to share a few of our first impressions now that we've been here for a month. We've kind of settled in. Mini Explorer, my daughter, is she will start going to Swedish nursery here in 2 weeks. So far it's just been like a summer holiday. But it's been already quite different from our previous stays in Sweden. So those of you who have followed my channel for a while knows that me and my family, basically, we really dislike the summers in Japan. So we tend to come here every summer for about 2 months to kind of relax and wind down a little bit, and to avoid the extreme heat and humidity in Japan, of course. But yeah, so far we like it. In some ways, I think we both like it more than we expected. We never really considered this town until a couple of months ago. We were always just set on well, if we are moving to Sweden, we probably have to live in Stockholm or maybe Malmö, where many of my other family members live. It's in the south of Sweden. It's the third largest city. But yeah, a couple of months ago we were so we've been staying in Stockholm the last 3 summers. We've been borrowing friends' apartments or renting, subletting places for a month or 2. And basically we never really felt that comfortable in Stockholm for various reasons. It's a very nice city to visit, but it's not the place where me and my wife feel that comfortable to live. Let's take a little shortcut down here. And we actually have a few friends living here in Strängnäs. Another Swedish-Japanese family with children, one daughter who is same age as our daughter, and they are good friends. And a handful of other people we know here. It's also so close to Stockholm, so that we can actually, go there over a day if we need to go there for work or whatever. It's close enough to kind of commute. A lot of people living here actually commute daily to Stockholm. And it's close to my mom. She's just 15 minutes away, which means a lot to me and her. But also it's a great thing to have some support, someone who can take care of our daughter for a few hours if needed. And also, like I said, it's a very quiet, peaceful place, and it's very beautiful here, as I hope I'll be able to convey a little bit later in this video. Most of the people here say that the surrounding nature is one of the best things about living here, and after staying here for a month, I am willing to agree. It's a really nice thing. From where we live, we have a gorgeous big forest with several nice walking trails just 5 minutes away, and I will also walk along the shore of Lake Mälaren, one of the biggest lakes in Sweden. This town is situated just on the shore of that lake, so you will see soon. The city center, like I said, it's a mix of older and slightly newer apartments. This is one of the older ones. Plenty of like smaller buildings like this. I don't think like the tallest building here is probably like 3, maybe 4 stories. So that's also a pretty big contrast from Japan. You see a lot of sky here. And the city center itself, it has like everything you need, but nothing else. One of the biggest issues so far, in my opinion, is that there aren't many nice coffee shops in this town. I'm someone who really enjoy, hopping around coffee shops with my laptop and spend hours editing photos or videos or doing other kinds of work. And yeah, here in Strängnäs, it's quite lacking. Unfortunately, so far I haven't found any really great coffee shops. There's like one that's kind of like average, but there's a nice kind of cake shop, but it's not the place where you sit down and have like a good coffee. They only make really good cakes, which is quite dangerous. And also, of course, this town is the most famous landmark is the big cathedral, which I think is like 500 years old. Quite beautiful. And the blocks surrounding the cathedral are very kind of like nicely preserved, traditional, old streets. We will get there in a minute. You will see what I mean. Let's see. I think we can cross here. Yeah, we see the top of the cathedral over there, so I think if I turn right here at the next street crossing, we should enter the old town. Here we go. And these on the sides here, they're all like private homes, as far as I know. So like this, let's see, basically says that this is from 1696. This little house. It's pretty old stuff. This used to be an old school back in the days, but now I guess it's just apartments. This is also, yeah, from the 1600s. Oh, and the other little life update that might be worth sharing with you is that since coming here, for the first time in my life, I really felt that having a car and a driver's license would have a huge quality of life improvement on my life. So actually, yeah, I started taking driving lessons, and hopefully later in August I should be in possession of a driver's license, which will also be handy when or if we go back to Japan, because Swedish driver's license can be easily converted into an international one that can be used in Japan. Pretty impressive stuff. Like I said, I think this church is 500 years old or so. Some very prominent person's grave here. And as you can tell, hopefully, it's a very nice summer day here. It's July 30th and 21 degrees. Gonna go up to 23. It's very, very pleasant compared to the Japanese summers. Obviously, that's why we come here every summer. The humidity is also within reasonable limits, and yeah, it's very pleasant to be here. We go out with our daughter every day. We spend so her biggest hobby right now is picking blueberries. So pretty much every second day we just go to the forest with her and just pick blueberries, and sometimes mushrooms and lingonberries for hours, and she never seems to get bored of that, and it's really enjoyable for me and my wife as well. We usually bring some coffee and cinnamon buns with us and have a picnic there in the forest and just enjoy the silence and the quietness. After 15 years in the Japanese capital, and even longer time for my wife, who's born and raised there, the peace and quiet that we can get here in Sweden is actually kind of exotic and something we really, really enjoy. Here's an old telephone booth. That's a fun little detail that kind of reminds me of Japan, where there are still payphones in service. Here they have actually removed the phone itself, unfortunately, but at least they preserved the booth itself. But yeah, our first impression so far, we do enjoy it here a lot. It's very nice. It's very we both feel like way less stress here, and that we can relax a lot, which is something I think we both needed, both me and my wife, because we've been working so hard the last couple of years, but especially the last couple of months in Japan. We're really busy for both of us. So we really needed a bit of a break and some time to wind down. I'm sure we will get terribly bored here in a couple of months. It's nice now in the summer, but once the cold and dark and gray season rolls around, I'm not sure how we will cope with that. But hopefully by then I have my driver's license and we can at least escape to slightly bigger cities when we feel the need for doing so. And also, as for our work and income, we're both kind of like taking a little bit of a break now and thinking things through, and like what we want to do with our lives and our future, and what our opportunities are in a place like this. So we both have a couple of seeds to projects that we will dedicate the coming 6 months or coming year to, but so far nothing is kind of decided, and I will share more information with you once I know more. So now we are at the shore here of Lake Mälaren. I think it's the third largest lake here in Sweden. Strängnäs actually continues on this other island over here called Tostera. It's this short little bridge connecting the two. But for now I will just walk a little bit along the shore and show you more of the city and the marina and kind of the nice parts. There are lots of nice houses and apartments here. I think everybody has a bit of a lakeside view, which I think is quite attractive. Unfortunately, the place where we live currently does not have that kind of view, but it's instead we have like a lot of greenery outside the window, and it's super quiet. I've been saying for a long time that one of the things I disliked about a place in Japan is that you can't keep the windows open because it's just too noisy. You have the sound of trains, and we have a relatively big road nearby, and it's just a lot of noise. But here we sleep with the window open, and when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I hear is like the birds chirping outside the window, and that's, in my book, a big advantage of living here. We can sit out on the balcony, enjoy the long Nordic summer nights when the temperature is very pleasant, and it's just beautiful colors in the sky and very quiet and peaceful. Perfect. So far it's been pretty much a perfect summer vacation, but like I said, I'm not sure how we will feel once the reality kicks in, and we also have to start thinking seriously about work, income, being productive, all those things in this widely different context that the one we came from before. Wait. Those of you who have followed my channel for a while probably know that I'm a sucker for these kind of places. Narrow staircases leading up to unknown, unexplored spots. So yeah, I guess I have to climb up here and see what we find. Actually, I think I've been here before. I think I went up these stairs on a previous walk I did here in Strängnäs. There's a windmill up on this hill. And I do believe that this little path will take me there. Maybe I was wrong. Okay, the windmill is up here. Guess we should go up and check it out. Yeah, here's the windmill. I don't really know the story behind this place, but it's located on this hill where you can see it from like most of the city, so it's a quite an iconic landmark. I would say after the cathedral, probably the second most iconic landmark of this city. Down here is the marina. I will head there as soon as I'm done here. get this feeling of deja vu. I think I might have taken this exact same route on my last video from here, which I'm not sure if that was last summer or 2 years ago. Over there you can see the cathedral again. But yeah, there's a little path down here. So I think I will just head down. The windmill is actually open and it says that you can get like a free guided tour of the place, but I'm not sure how interesting that would be for you, so let's skip that for now. If you do want a 4K windmill walking tour later, let me know in the comments below and I'll see what I can do. Maybe I'll even make it an 8K windmill walking tour. if you're really eager. But yeah, city center down below here. Or more like marina, and then city center is like the block behind those buildings over there. Living here have quite a spectacular view. Not bad. Just like that seagull over there, enjoying the view. Might be worth mentioning a little bit about the demographics of this town. Actually, quite a lot of people have moved here in the last couple of years, especially families with children who started feeling that, yeah, Stockholm was getting a little bit too rough, maybe, or the housing prices in Stockholm were getting a little bit out of hand. I know a couple of people like that who moved here to kind of, yeah, still have Stockholm within reach, but live in a quieter and more silent and peaceful environment. I think, yeah, that's kind of like the reasoning behind our choice to move here as well. So there's a handful of nice playgrounds here, and they're always pretty busy. Lots of kids playing, and see a lot of kids my daughter's age. So I'm pretty sure she will make some good friends here pretty soon. And so we've been here for a month now, and before we came here, her Swedish was pretty limited. Like, I've been trying to speak Swedish to her as much as I can, but since Japanese has been her like native language, she always replied to me in Japanese, and then I always switched to Japanese, mostly unconsciously. But yeah, in this month that we've been here, she's just learned so much Swedish. It's crazy. Like, now she can actually, I would say her Swedish is already kind of on par with her Japanese. Like, she maybe doesn't have the exactly as big of a vocabulary in Swedish, but she can express pretty much everything she wants. And she really also, like, what has impressed me a lot is that she can really distinguish between the two languages. She really knows that when she's here, when she's talking to Swedish children or to my mom, she has to speak Swedish. And sometimes she asks me, like, how do I say this word in Swedish? She asks me in Japanese, of course. But I mean, she's not even 4 yet. She's turning 4 2 weeks from now. But she already has a pretty good grasp of the concept of different languages, and yeah, we were a bit concerned about if it would be difficult for her to come here and suddenly be put in a Swedish context and not being able to use her Japanese at all. But I would say, like, now after 1 month, she's at the point where I was maybe hoping she would be by the end of this year in terms of language ability. So that has truly been like the ability for small children to learn a second language. That's truly spectacular. Here's a tourist information bike. Interesting. Maybe I should have a chat with them later. See if they have any good recommendations for me that I haven't discovered yet. This place is pretty cool. It's a floating restaurant or a floating bar. No, I think it's a restaurant. This place too. One of the nicer restaurants in town. Another nice thing about living here instead of Stockholm is that the prices are a little bit more reasonable. With Stockholm, I always used to say that eating out is twice as expensive as in Japan, and at best it's half as tasty. Here in Strängnäs it's more like maybe 1.5 times more expensive. Still only half as tasty at best though. But still, not as unreasonably expensive as the prices in Stockholm. And a much nicer and more relaxed and safe environment. On top of that. It's a nice little ice cream kiosk. Very expensive though, but quite tasty. And here's, I think, one of the biggest playground in this city. We come here a lot. My daughter really loves this place. And over there is a library, which is surprisingly decent. They have a good cafe there as well. One of the better coffee shops in the city, I would say, or city, town, whatever Strängnäs is. But yeah, there's a lot of other spots I would love to show you. Like, it's a really nice walk if you just continue along the water here. But I think I need to save some of it for future videos because this is such a small place and I will quickly run out of good spots, so I can't put it all in just one video. So I will just head down this kind of main street to the like the shopping street in this here in Strängnäs, and wrap things up over there. And like I said, I think I will do another video pretty soon, maybe a live stream where I will answer some of your questions and tell you a little bit more in detail about the move and what made us come here, the pros and cons, Japan versus Sweden, that we've experienced so far, etc. So yeah, here's the quiet little main street where like the two supermarkets in Strängnäs, or at least in central Strängnäs, they're both located a little bit further down here. There's also, yeah, here's a cafe, some restaurants. There's a half decent sushi place over there, at least half decent by Swedish standards. And their lunch is actually just 100 Swedish crowns, which is 1,400 yen maybe, which is actually not bad. Not bad for a sushi lunch in Sweden. I think we've tried most of the restaurants in this town already. This taco place was alright too. I mean, nothing has been like great. Nothing has been like... I mean, Swedish food at best is like low quality Japanese food, I would say. But yeah, we haven't really had anything that stood out to us so far. Definitely, like, the Japanese food is one of the things we both miss the most of living here. But that's also something that we've been pretty prepared on, because it's been the same thing every time we come here in the summer. It's just once you get used to the quality and the prices in Japan, it's like everything else feels like a third world country. And sadly, Sweden is no exception. But yeah, I think I will wrap things up here. 45 minutes, that's a good length for the first video from my new hometown. Yeah, I think so. July has been kind of like a summer break for me. Haven't really done anything. I haven't made any videos, no live streams, hardly any work. But from August onwards, I plan to start a new project and start posting frequently again on my social channels. So if you're still with me, if you've been watching this video, let me know what you think. Let me know if there's anything you would like me to show from Sweden, either from here from Strängnäs, or anything else that you're interested in. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you all soon again. But that's it for today. Thanks so much for watching. Bye bye, hej då, auf Wiedersehen und Matane. Tschüss!